welcome to another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com, and thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, please do so right now and talk about bizarre. There's always a bizarre story here in New York, and probably bizarre story in any but bizarre story in sports in general. One of the bizarre stories that you hear about is Sandy Alderson, the GM of the New York Mets, says that the New York Mets should win. He expects the New York Mets to win 90 games. Will Pond followed that up, one of the owners, by saying that he feels that the Mets shouldn't. He's expecting the Mets to win 90 games is what I'm trying to say. And if you're Terry Collins, if I was Terry Collins, as soon as I heard that last night, I probably couldn't sleep. I probably felt a little sick to my stomach, nausea, the dinner slowly coming up. I mean, though he's not going to admit it, secretly he probably thought to himself, how in the world am I supposed to win 90 games? The Mets, based on the odds makers here, are projected to win 77 games. Honestly, if the Mets win 82 games, Terry Collins should be considered manager of the year. How? The Wilpons, Alderson, what type of world are they living in? There are many questions for the Mets to be answered. First base. Who will be at first base? Ike Davis, you've seen what happened with him last year. Swing and a miss story of his time last year. Lucas Duda, labeled as being the great potential, and you hear this year after year after year. When will the year finally come? So you have questions at first base. Ike Davis, like I mentioned, swing and miss. Can't miss prospect. All of a sudden he's finding himself in a platoon situation, possible platoon situation. Not to mention, you also, with the last couple of seasons with Ike Davis, you also worry about, with all this trade talk, clearly Mets did not want Ike Davis, nor did any other team. How will he react knowing that his team made it public that they wanted to trade him? You also have questions at shortstop. Ruben Tejada was not up for most of the year last year. He was down. He got injured. Then in the minor leagues, never called back up again. You've lost Matt Harvey now. Matt Harvey, who was giving you 15 wins, you penciled him in if it wasn't for that Tommy John surgery. How are you going to replace those 15 wins by? Bartolo Colon, is it? Bartolo Colon, age up there, a little bit overweight. You wonder if he could repeat what he repeat with the Oakland A's after, albeit he was suspended for taking steroids. Now, is he off the juice? If he's off the juice, how will he perform? Maybe he was better being on the juice. Outfield, you picked up Granderson. Good signing. You then picked up Eric, not Young, what was his name? Young was Chris Young. Guy hit 200, and you pay him $7 million. How will your outfield look? Who is your fourth and fifth outfielder? Juan Lagares? Do you feel confidence in Juan Lagares? And the ever question of the bullpen. Big question in itself. Bobby Parnell. Is he fully recuperated from his injury last year? Can he finally be the dominant closer that the Mets think he will be? How will Dylan G react? All these questions. And the Mets still think that they will win 90 games. The Yankees, who spend and spend and spend, aren't even projected to win 90 games. Based on the odds makers, there are about only 4 teams that are projected to win more than 90 games. So, where the Mets, what world they're in, is beyond me. And this was the year that the Mets were supposed to spend, albeit Matt Harvey got injured, might have put a little damper on the spending, but still, you have to give me something more than Curtis Granderson, Bartolo Colon, and Chris Young, a 200 hitter, $7 million. You know, the Mets fans say they're unhappy with this team, and if I were a Met fan, I would be unhappy. But how are you going to prove your point? You won't prove your point by going to the games. You need to send the message if you really are a upset Met fan, at least in my opinion. But wow, 90 games for the Mets. Huh. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And until next time, adios.